Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Kaushal Yadav, and I have a PhD and an MPhil from the English and Foreign Languages University, Hyderabad, the Lucknow campus. I have an MA in linguistics, I have MA in English, and I have both the NETs qualified. So today I'm going to deal with the word formation processes for all of you. The topic is a part of the morphology, a specific branch of linguistics. We call it as morphology. Morphology basically deals with the structure of languages, the structure of shapes. So here we are interested only in knowing the structure of the language formation, word formation, how the words are made in any language. For that, we have the first process as affixation. Affixation refers to the fixing of certain components to a root word. And if something is being added before the root word, the original word, we call it as the prefix. If something is being added at the end, we call it as suffix. And if it is being in between these two words, we call it as infix. Similarly, there are certain things which are added, to join two words together in between, we call them as interfix. Similarly, if there is something which is added to both the sides of the word, in some languages it happens, we call it as the circumfix. So accordingly, we have almost 10 types of affixes overall in all the languages of the world including, but in English we generally use two or three types of. From affixation, we move on to the second process of word formation. We call it as compounding. As the name suggests that it is compounding of some words. So it can be a word to word compounding, it would be a phrase to word compounding, and particle to word compounding. Compounds are the new words, the newly formed words, which are different from these individual words. These individual words are these individual words are like basket and ball, similarly book and shelf, key and board. But when you make new words from them, they have a different meaning. For example, keyboard is something different from key and board individually. Next, we have the process of conversion, and conversion refers to converting a word into different meaning. We basically call it as meaning, conversion in meaning or conversion in the form. So for us, we are interested in the form basically. Conversion of the words can be either from noun to adverb to pronoun to prepositions to verb to conjunctions to adjectives, that we call as the parts of speech. We all know that the words are the parts of speech basically. So conversion is either in the functional shift or it is zero derivation and things like that. Next, we move on to the next section, which is blending. Blending is also a kind of compounding, but not exactly the compounding, because in compounding we were taking the words as they were. In blending, we have different kinds of types of blending, where we add some part of the initials of the two words, or somewhere we add some initial to the second part of the word, last part of the word. That way we call it as portmanteau blending and blending in general. So adding two words together to make a new word, a third word, which represents both the words, both the original words. For example, on the screen you can see sitcom. Sitcom refers to the situational comedy. Here, sit refers to situation and com refers to comedy. So that is a blend word. Similarly, we have example here, brunch, breakfast and lunch. You can see cosplay, that is costume, and role play, which would be called as cosplay. You would have heard terms like biopic, biography and picture. That becomes the biopic. So based on that, we have different types of blending. We come to the clipping. Common shortened words, clipping. The name suggests that you have to clip it. Clip to shorten it. We call it as shortening as well as clipping. For example, the telephone has become phone. For example, the mathematics has become maths. These are called the clippings. Clippings in uh, word formation processes. Next, we have the acronyms and initials. Acronyms and abbreviations, these are the two popular terms. So acronyms and initials both are the abbreviation somewhere. Abbreviation refers to the shortened form of a word to give the meaning. So acronyms are the words pronounceable, which are pronounceable words, like words NASA, ISRO, laser. These are the words which can be pronounced as words, though they are initials somewhere. We call them as acronyms. And the others which cannot be pronounced are called initials, or we generally call them as acronyms also. Next, we move on to the next process, that is back formation. The process of back formation is an amazing one because it deals with that the words which are nouns basically have been derived, shortened to make the verbs. Generally, the process of word formation is from verbs we derive the nouns, the adjectives, and the adverbs. But here, because we are deriving it from a noun to make it a verb, we call this process as back formation. The examples are edit from editor, burgle from burglar, diagnose from diagnosis. These are the words which are example of back formation. Next, we come to neologism. Neologism, the name suggests neo refers to new, logism, some logic, some kind of uh, we call it expression. So new expressions would be called the neologisms. And neologisms are because of certain reasons, maybe because of cultural values, maybe because of attaching the name of the researcher to it, and examples are corona. Because of its crown like structure, we have named it corona. Similarly, we have the Coulomb, we have the Pascal, we have certain other terms, what they have been named after the inventors, after the discoverers. Therefore, such terms are called the neologisms. And after neologism, we have borrowing. Borrowing refers to adopting the expression of one language into another language. So if our native language is something and we have borrowed the terms from other languages, we would call it as borrowing. This borrowing refers to direct borrowing, calc, and semantic borrowing. So direct borrowing is if we take the word as it was without any change. Most of the words from French have been taken into English as they were. For example, bonfire, rendezvous, and words like cliche, words like chassis, they are part of English now, but they are basically borrowed from French. Similarly, there are words like calc, you can see on the screen. This has been the example is skyscraper, which is translated from German into English. That is also borrowing. And the third kind of borrowing is semantic borrowing. The kindergarten from German has been taken into KG to be popularly known among us. This is called borrowing. I hope the processes of word formation are clear to all of us, and this is called morphology in general. So morphology, the structure of the study of the structures, and our word formation processes are covered with this. Thank you very much. I hope you would have loved learning with us.